I'm Steve Wilkerson, and I'm with Jim Saunders, Executive Editor of the News Service of Florida. Jim, U.S. freshman Republican Congressman Trey Radel of the Southwest Florida area, Fort Myers, has taken a leave of absence from Congress after being arrested in a Washington, D.C. sting operation for using cocaine or buying it. And the criminal justice system has worked its way through it. He's convicted of it in one way or another. And he's taken a leave of absence. He's not left, though, the office. What's the latest?
Well, he's in rehab in Southwest Florida, and he's, says he'd take a little time to get his issues worked out. But politically, this has been already very damaging to him and fairly explosive as well. Last week the state Republican chairman, Lenny Curry, put out a statement calling for him to resign. Also, the party leaders in Lee County and Collier County, which make up that district, have also called for him to resign.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, and it's also created a lot of speculation about what's going to happen in that congressional district. He won it in 2012 when then the incumbent in that office, Connie Mack, ran for the U.S. Senate. Connie Mack was unsuccessful in that race, and Trey Radel beat a large field of Republicans to win the seat. But now there's a lot of speculation about what's going to happen. And one of the ideas is that Connie Mack will come back. He lost pretty large margin to Bill Nelson in the Senate race, but he's very well known down there. His name has always been magic in Florida politics, primarily because of his father, and so there's a possibility he might come back.
Are there other names?
Yeah, another one that's being mentioned quite a bit is Lizbeth Benequisto. She's a senator from Fort Myers. She is the Senate Majority Leader here in the state Senate, and she is pretty popular in Tallahassee, and she's also shown she can raise quite a bit of money, which is important. The fact is that really it's going to be Republicans going to win that district. It's very Republican, probably one of the most reliable Republican areas of the state. So, the Democrats may run somebody, but it's hard to believe they'd win that seat.
Well, he hasn't resigned yet. I guess if he did resign, you could have a special election.
It would depend on when he resigned, but yes, you could have a special election. Regardless, though, I tend to think he's in danger of getting even if he doesn't resign, that he would get a Republican primary challenge, serious challenge next year, which somebody like Mack or Benequisto jumps in against Radel with this on his record, he'd have a hard time.
Thursday of this week, the Florida Supreme Court will hear arguments by Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi that the summary language for a proposed constitutional amendment approving the use of marijuana for medical purposes, that language is inadequate to summarize the entire amendment. We've been following this story, the two of us, for several months now. This is a big issue, both legally and politically. Update us.
This is this hearing and what the result is, by the decision by the Supreme Court, is huge for this constitutional amendment. Attorney General Bondi is arguing that the summary, the language that voters actually see when they go to the polls, does not accurately reflect how expansive this amendment would be. She's saying it would essentially throw open the door to people, all kinds of people getting marijuana for what may not be real dire medical needs. The Supreme Court will have to weigh that. They do this on all of these ballot initiatives. The supporters of the amendment, led by John Morgan, the very well-known Orlando trial attorney, they contend that the summary accurately reflects the amendment. But this is sort of make or break time because they need to get this amendment approved by the Supreme Court, and then they need to finish collecting enough petition signatures. You need almost 700,000 petition signatures to get on the ballot. It is a time-consuming and costly process.
Well, what do you know in terms of how Floridians feel about this issue?
A very interesting Quinnipiac University poll came out in November. It showed that essentially 8 in 10 Floridians support the amendment. It's a huge. It was a huge number. If it gets on the ballot, it will need 60% of the voters to approve it. But if that poll is accurate, then if it gets on the ballot, it's got a really good chance of passing.
Thank you, Jim. For more news about Florida politics and government, visit the Advances section of our website.